In this episode of 50 Phenoms, Ryan Shazier talks with Anne-Marie, a hairstylist from Erie, Pennsylvania. Anne-Marie was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2009. 4 years later, she was told she had breast cancer. The news didn't devastate her, it motivated her to achieve things she never thought possible. Ryan Shazier's 50 Phenoms, in partnership with UPMC.
How you doing, Anne-Marie?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Can you tell me a little bit before you found out that you had multiple sclerosis?
In my 40s, I noticed some things that were happening to me. My doctor suggested that I have an MRI. I got a phone call at work, and it was my doctor, and she said, Anne-Marie, I hate to tell you this, but you have MS. And I think, okay, I could be in a wheelchair someday. What's gonna happen to me? And she said, don't stop moving, keep moving. And I said, okay, I gotta stay healthy. And that kind of started me a little bit on taking care of myself better and eating and doing more things. And that's what I thought, my big hurdle was gonna be.
So then you have another hiccup and you find out that you have breast cancer. How was that experience?
Well, I was working out and I pulled a muscle. And I went like this, and I thought, well, that feels odd. And so I called my doctor. I said, you know what? I have a lump in my chest. After a couple of tests, they told me I had breast cancer. On my 50th birthday in September, I was having chemotherapy. After my second treatment, my hair started falling out. So I knew that day was coming. I remember going into the bathroom and just looking at myself in the mirror, and I just took the clippers and I just shaved my head.
When you had to cut your hair, like looking in the mirror, that was probably, you felt that was your lowest point?
Yeah, that was a tough day. I mean, when you have cancer, you think, oh, it's okay. And then, being a hairdresser, I thought, oh, well, it'll be fun. I'll wear wigs. But then when you're standing there in the mirror and you're shaving your head and you are bald, it was so real then. And I've always said, one of my favorite scripture verses is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
I can totally agree with you with that scripture, because I actually have that same scripture tattooed on my body.
Do you really?
Yeah, I had got that in college, and once I got hurt, I had to start talking to myself and say I have to practice what I preach. You see a lot of people dealing with the same issues, but you never expect you will be dealing with it with yourself.
You're right. Am I going to be strong enough to do it and to live it? I know before I turned 50, my husband and I were sitting and talking one day, and I saw some pictures of some people working out and in kayaks, and I said, honey, I want to be those people. Why can't we be those people? I just don't want to sit and get old and, be sick, or I want to do this while I still can. And he said, I promised you we're going to be those people. So that's when we kind of, I took off from there and thought, well, let's see what I can do.
Can you tell me some of the things that you're doing now that you weren't doing before?
I've done 5 half marathons, 3 sprint triathlons, 1 duathlon, 2 bay swims. I own a bike, I own a kayak, I own a paddleboard, and I snowshoe. And I go to the Y, which has been a wonderful release for me. And I said one day, hey, I'm thinking about running a half marathon. Anybody want to do that with me here in Erie? And believe it or not, like 5 or 6 women said, yeah, I'll do that with you. And before you know it, it was almost a year to the date that I was in having a double mastectomy. I was running a half marathon. So yes, in 6 years, that's what I have done. One of the most memorable ones was to mark my 5-year anniversary of breast cancer. And I walked into the Y and everybody had a pink tank top on. It said, stronger with every mile. And they said, we're doing this, we're running this one for you. That was huge. That was, my first one was really something, a personal victory. The last one was, I can't believe how God has blessed me with all these people and all these friends and such support.
Sometimes you need other people to motivate you to do things that you don't think you can do yourself.
Absolutely. Because would I have done these things on my own? Maybe the first half, because that was something deep down inside. But when you have people around you that encourage you and let's try different things, And it's all out of my comfort zone. I thought, what's the worst that can happen? Today I'm standing, today I can run. Tomorrow I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's in my future, but today I'm good.
When one of your clients may come in and they find out they have breast cancer, do you ever give them any advice or try to talk to them about it?
Yeah, people have helped me, so I do. I try and help anybody, and I just look at them and I say, look at me, I'm standing here today. I didn't know where I was gonna be, and tried to go out of my comfort zone with all the different things that I've done. And I just say, you can do anything you want. I can do it, you know, you can do it, and I'm here, so it's okay.
So Anne-Marie, now you are officially a 50 Phenom.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, give me a hug. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh,
welcome.
that's super.